Wei Yingwu encountering Feng in the capital. A traveller comes from the east, his clothes still wet with barling rain. I ask him why he's come. To buy an axe for cutting firewood in the mountains. Now flowers open, down among the fallen leaves. Swallow hatchlings struggle with the breeze. Since we parted last year, spring has come again, along with more white hair at our temples. So yet another poem by Wei Yingwu. In this case, this is a short one as well, like the previous one, and the topic here could be, okay, it's a bit difficult. Let's say meeting friends. This is not a planned meaning, as the title says, this is encountering him, so it wasn't planified. But yeah, it's meeting friends and reminiscing company with friends. There's a bit of a seasonal element in the poem as well, because the meeting takes place in spring, and the last time the two protagonists of the poem had met had been in spring. There's also some references to the passage of time and aging, and very indirect and subtle ones about serving in office. So let's go bit by bit. First couplet: a traveller comes from the east, his clothes still wet with barling rain. So barling, from what I've read somewhere else, was a place in the east of the capital, probably a mountainous place, where a lot of hermits live. So we might imagine that this Feng had been living until then the retired hermit life. So he comes soaked with the rains from barling. A bit surprised at seeing him, Wei Yingwu asks him why he's come, and the answer is quite cryptic: to buy an axe for cutting firewood in the mountains. So I am pretty sure we're not meant to understand this literally. I mean, it would have been, if Feng Zhu just came out of his hermitage or retirement to buy an axe, there would probably have been closer and easier places to do so than having to travel to the capital. Of course, the expression, if it's based perhaps on a real sentence that Feng Zhu told Wei Jingwu, might be a very polite way of referencing both his life as a hermit and, it seems very indirectly, his interest in serving in office in the capital. In fact, some interpretations of this poem have said that the use of the verb buy here, to buy an axe, would refer to maybe the bribes or the different mechanisms that Feng Zhu was able to apply, or was able to use to apply for a position in the imperial bureaucracy. We know that Feng Zhu passed examinations. So after that, the next couplet moves us to spring. So the topic seems to change, because we no longer get a continuation of this conversation between Feng Zhu and Wei Jingwu. Now flowers open, down among the fallen leaves. Swallow hatchlings struggle with the breeze. So it's spring now. The flowers opening, that's an image of nature with plants. And the swallow hatchling struggling, that's a nature image with animals, are both conventional of early spring in Chinese tradition. So we're in spring when this meeting takes place. And finally, the couplet says, since we parted last year, spring has come again, along with more white hair at our temples. So it's been a year since the last time Wei Jingwu and Feng Zhu had been together. Nature follows its cycles recurrently, repetitively. Humans are not so lucky. We get old, and the reference in the last line to the white hair in our temple shows that we are not exactly like nature. Nature seems to be able to eternally renew itself, even though animals and plants die. We are like the animals and plants. We are part of a cycle, but our renewal abilities are limited. I can't see the direct relationship there. So this seems to be just, a reflection on, or a comment on the conventional topic of the passage of time and becoming old when you meet a friend. I don't perceive it, if it is related in any way, to Feng Zhu's ambitions or presumed ambitions to serve in court. Maybe the sights of spring could be interpreted as a positive, uh, as an optimistic sign of possible success of Feng Zhu in his attempts at serving in office. Quite a short poem then, not much to say about it. The most startling thing, as I say, is in line 4, that quite enigmatic line. Feng Zhu is coming to the capital to buy an axe for cutting firewood in the mountains. So for keeping the rustic lifestyle in the mountains. But it would be jarring, even without any double meanings, even without double entendres. The idea of going to a big urban city for buying tools that are meant to be used very far away from humans, from most humans, and from the big city. The next couplet holds quite a nice image of, well, a juxtaposition of two spring images that we mentioned. Flowers opening through the fallen leaves, swallow hatchlings struggling with the breeze. So, yeah, not bad, and not much more to say about this. We'll continue tomorrow with yet another poem by Wei Yingwu.